Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Certificate in Project Management Info webinar. My name is Julia McGinn. I'll be the enrollment manager on board today to help you with any enrollment questions at the end. And I'm joined today by Amy Warner. Amy, would you like to take it away?
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today to talk about the Georgetown University Certificate in Project Management. We'll start with our agenda. We've already done our introductions. I am an instructor in the project management certificate program. I teach the course Leading Project Teams and have done that since March of 2017, so coming up on 4 years. We're going to talk about what you will learn in the project management certificate, and then move to Julia's portion of the program that is entitled Becoming a Professional Learner at Georgetown University. And we'll have time for your questions at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. Please, if you have any questions as we go through, if you could place them in the chat, and then we will answer those at the end of the program. And Julia might be answering some of those as we go throughout the program.
Absolutely will.
Okay, so let's start off with the learning experience options that we have at the Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies for certificate programs. And for the project management program, we have on the left side, we'll talk about online flex learning with both intensive and semester scheduling. And this is what was traditionally done in the classroom setting, but has transitioned to flex learning given the changes of the university and the School of Continuing Studies due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And online flex learning is offered in a format, and I'll talk a little bit later about the different formats of intensive versus semester scheduling, but online flex learning is very similar to a traditional classroom environment where you log into the course for 1 day or 2 days. One of the programs is 3 days, and it's a dynamic setting with the instructor and all the students via Zoom. And so you have the interaction and ability to communicate with other students in the program as a class unit, just as you would in the classroom setting. So there are lectures, there are group discussions, there may be breakout sessions where you work with a smaller group of students to discuss topics and present back to the class. And you get feedback immediately, and you're able to complete the course in a short time frame. So for instance, the Leading Project Teams is 1 8-hour course in 1 day. And so again, it's very similar to the classroom experience, but it's offered via Zoom right now. And then the other option is the online asynchronous learning. And so, for instance, for the Leading Project Teams course, which is 8 contact hours, that is created into an online format that is stretched over a period of a week. And so you access the course materials on your own time within that week. And it's self-guided, although we provide recommended due dates. You have those 7 days to complete the work at your own pace. And although there are discussions and feedback from your instructor, there's not the type of interaction that you would have in the flex learning option. So those are the 2 different formats. For now, this is how the courses are offered for the spring semester, and it has not been decided for summer and fall how those will be approached in terms of whether or not we're back in the classroom or continuing with the flex learning option. And I'll pause there. Julia, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Nothing that I'd like to add. Someone did ask in the chat, and I'm answering right now, how many hours these classes are in terms of times of day. The weekend classes will be about 2.5 hours, usually Friday evenings and then Saturday mornings. So about 2.5 hours for 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then the Saturday classes are usually 9 to 1, about 4 hours. And there will be bio breaks and larger lunch breaks for the longer classes. The weekday classes for the intensive setting, the ones that you can complete the whole program within 2 weeks, those will be full 8-hour days or 7.5-hour days with many short breaks and a larger lunch break at noon. And those ones are made to be 1-day classes, possibly 2 days, again, sometimes 3 for, say, the capstone. But that to answer that question, that's how many hours per day you'll be doing for the flex learning option. The asynchronous option is self-paced, self-motivated, and will require some time management on your end.
Right. And I have the total hours for each course later in the deck that we're using today. So you'll see a little bit more closely the time frame for each of them. For example, leading project teams is eight context hours. It's usually 9 to 4:30. I have some pre-reading that we allow time to do in the beginning of the day, and at the end of the day, we allow time to complete an assignment so that you can demonstrate that you've met the learning objectives, and really you can complete that course in just one day versus the online format, asynchronous, where you're doing it over the course of a week. And again, you have to be self-motivated and make sure that you're getting the work completed. So it's really a choice that is a very personal and a matter of preference for individuals to choose one or the other. And for some people, they do a combination of both. They might take one or two of them as an online course, and others, depending on the schedule, in the flex learning environment. In terms of the formats, in the spring and fall semesters, the project management courses are offered in the flex or classroom, secondly in the intensive format, and then thirdly online. But in the summer, it's only the intensive, which is either flex or classroom, and the online. And so the minimum time to complete the certificate for flex or classroom is 1 semester. Of course, you can take up to 2 years to do that, but the minimum time that you could do it is in 1 semester. The intensive, you can complete the whole program in 2 weeks, and the online is 1 semester as well. So we'll move to the next slide. And we wanted to talk a little bit about project management as a profession. And so the PMI commissioned a talent gap analysis by Anderson Economic Group, and it pointed to outstanding opportunities in jobs and career growth for project managers within the 11 countries it studied. And it really did a projection over the next 10 years up until 2027, stating that the labor force is going to grow by 33%, or nearly 22 million new jobs. And so this is just to show that project managers are important contributors to productivity. If you look online for job opportunities, if you are seeking new opportunities, you'll find that the project management is something that almost every job is asking for. And so for me personally, I have never been a project manager, like a traditional project manager, but I've always managed projects in the roles that I've held in various companies. And so I wanted to study project management so I could be a better project manager in my role. Next slide. So let's get down to some of the frequently asked questions that we have received as we conduct these webinars about the project management program. And the first is, why do professional learners choose to study at the Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies? And there are 3 points I'd like to make. First, the global reputation of Georgetown University in offering very high quality educational experiences. Secondly, the instruction and interaction with Georgetown instructors who are professionals in their fields of practice, as well as outstanding educators. And finally, the students choose Georgetown because of the interaction they have with peers in the class to build professional networks. The next question is specifically why choose the certificate in project management? And first, I will say that the program is built on the core processes defined in the Project Management Institute's A Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge, or otherwise known as the PMBOK. And there's strong emphasis on helping you develop the people skills and real-world practices required to successfully manage projects on time, on budget, and within scope with a high quality. The courses are taught by a faculty of industry experts and practitioners. And finally, you will complete the program as a more effective, strategic, and confident project manager. Now, the next two questions are ones that I have received questions both in these webinars as well as in the courses that I have taught is, what is the difference between the project management certificate and a PMP certification? And do I need one or the other or both? And the answer is it really depends on you and your preferences and your learning needs. So a certificate in project management is a non-credit program. It's sponsored by an educational institution that have designated learning objectives. And so at Georgetown, we follow a particular curriculum that leads to an educational credential upon successfully completing the work. It's held in classrooms or taken online, and they're typically shorter than other graduate programs. So as we mentioned, you can complete your certificate in 2 weeks or 1 semester. The PMP certification involves taking an exam from a third-party professional group. For example, in this case, the Project Management Professional or PMP designation is offered by the Project Management Institute. And this is totally based on the material contained within the PMBOK. So do you need a certificate or a certification or both? So the way I look at it is the certificate in project management is a way to learn how to become an effective project manager in the workplace. So we will give you all the tools and information to help either become a project manager or become a better project manager. The certification project is a way to put that rubber stamp on a project manager who may have a lot of experience, who wants to have the certification process. And so it depends. In my case, I took a master's degree in project management, and then I did decide a year later, since I had spent 2.5 years studying project management, to take the PMP exam. I did that by taking a kind of a boot camp type of course to help me with test prep, but they're two totally different things. My studies taught me how to be a great project manager. The test is a way to say, yes, I understand everything in PMBOK, and for some people in applying for jobs, that is very important. So you really have to look at your situation and know whether you need to learn all about project management, or if you are an existing project manager and you just want that certification, or you want to do both. Neither path is intrinsically better. It just depends on what your goals and circumstances are. Next slide, please. So here's an overview of the certificate. Again, the project management certificate is ideal for mid and senior level professionals. It's offered right now in the flex learning and online environment. It lasts as little as 2 weeks or up to 2 years to complete. And that means you can spread your courses out over time. You don't have to complete them in 1 semester. You can do it at your own pace. The schedule varies by format. The tuition is $6,965 for the entire certificate, and you can enter in either the fall, spring, or summer semesters. So again, I mentioned earlier, you have up to 2 years to complete the certificate, and students can mix and match courses between all 3 modalities. Next slide. So let's talk a little bit about the learning objectives. And upon completing the program, you'll be able to demonstrate the use of standard project management tools and techniques, identify the characteristics of effective project management, understand the role of the project in meeting organizational strategic goals, so aligning projects to meet your company's strategic objectives, identify the challenges in delivering successful projects and how to manage those challenges. And finally, and for me, most importantly, since this is the course that I teach, is understanding the role of the project manager and the skills required to lead teams successfully. Because in many cases, in my experience, I've seen where companies promote subject matter experts to become project managers, but they might lack the people skills and the experience in managing teams. And this is very critical to project management. Next slide. Oh, and one note on that is that the PMI Registered Educator Provider Program was retired by the Project Management Institute on December 31st. So just a few weeks ago, PMI changed a lot of the program and even the new PMP certification exam. The School of Continuing Studies has applied to the new PMI approved training program, which is ATP, and they have been accepted by PMI, but more details will be available in the coming weeks in terms of how that works and getting your education credits by taking these courses. So more to come on that. So then if we move into the curriculum, there are 4 required courses in the project management certificate. And for each one, we've listed the total contact hours. So for instance, the project management fundamentals is a 24 contact hour course that can be taken in 3 days in the flex format or intensive flex, or it can be taken over 2 weeks time period online. And then a 16 contact hour is 2 days or 2 weeks, and then the 8 contact hours would be 1 day or 1 week. And so these are the 4 required course: project management fundamentals, the project manager's toolkit, leading project teams, and managing projects in the real world, which is the capstone course of the program. And then, Julia, if you can move to the next slide, there are 3 electives, and you will need to choose 2 of those to complete. So it's a total of 6 courses and 80 contact hours. And the 3 choices that you have are project risk management, negotiation and conflict management for project managers. That's one I highly recommend, and business strategy and program management. So from those 3, you choose 2, which gives you some flexibility in customizing your certificate program. And then we'll move to the program structure. So here's a look at the schedule for spring 2021 in terms of the course offerings for project management. And so the first block are the intensives. So you'll see that they are offered over the course of 2 weeks. So you begin the program on Monday, March the 1st, and you finish on Friday, March the 12th, and you have your certificate. The second grouping are the online courses, and those can be taken starting today. And those are online courses in either 2-week or 1-week format. And then the final block are offered mostly on Saturdays, and those are either 3 Saturdays, 2 Saturdays, or 1 Saturday. So for instance, negotiation and conflict for project managers, Saturday, April 10th, finishes on that same day, and you complete it via Flex Learning. So those are the 3 offerings. The summer 2020 schedule for project management will be published within the next week. And for summer 20, we will be offering an online asynchronous modality and intensive. At this time, we do not know what modality the intensive will be taught. So it could be in class or it could be offered in flex learning. But the school has not made a decision about summer 21 and fall at this time. And that wraps up my portion of the program. I'm going to turn it over to Julia, and then I will be available when she finishes to help answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Amy. On my portion, I'll be talking about the funding options that we have. We do have certain options if you don't want to pay out of pocket for everything all at once. The most popular method is the interest-free payment plan. We do take all these other things. We have some tuition discounts if you are a federal government employee or perhaps a Georgetown alumni, things like that. We have a list of private loans on our website as well. And we also take SF-182s and training budgets and third-party payment. But the interest-free payment plan is absolutely what we use the most. This applies to any shopping cart that has more than $4,000 worth of classes in it at one time. And you would just select that payment method at checkout. And then it's 4 equal payments of 25%. You'd pay a 25% down payment of whatever is in your shopping cart at the time. And then every 30 days thereafter, you will pay another 25%. That's the most popular. This is just like online retail. It is open enrollment, so no application is required. You simply add courses to a shopping cart, create a profile, and check out. And then you're enrolled. That is it. These are the links that we will send you. We will send you both a recording of this presentation as well as the slide deck. So you're able to click these links and go straight to the project management courses and click register now. And again, once payment is processed, then you are officially registered. Most of our classes are held through Canvas and sometimes on Zoom if you choose the flex learning option. Canvas is a student management module that we use. It's where you will turn in your assignments, where grades will be posted, where you will see all of your assignments to look at recorded lectures or perhaps articles to read, and that's where most of the class will take place. And now we will open it up for questions. Give me 1 second. Amy, would you like to turn on cameras so we can see everybody?
Yes.
Or rather, everyone could see us. There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Julia. That's Amy. We do have a couple of questions that already came in.
Okay.
The one that is the most prevalent was about the PMP. Some people have been asking, does this prepare you to take the PMP exam? I'll give the explanation that I normally give, and Amy, you can further clarify if need be. My explanation is usually it's like the SAT prep. So you can take math courses and English courses and be okay to take the SAT itself. You'll have the knowledge, but doing SAT prep courses will really drill you on how to do the exam itself. So this will not prepare you to take the PMP, it will prepare you to be a good project manager and have that knowledge as a background, but it won't drill you on what the exam actually is. Amy, is that a good explanation?
I would agree wholeheartedly because you are learning the foundations and the concepts. And so taking the certificate will help get you ready to prepare for the test, but you really need the test prep to understand how the PMBOK approach and how to best take learn and prepare to take the test. So great analogy with the SAT, courses. My daughter did that. She had her great courses in school. She took her SAT prep courses and then took the exam. So that for sure is a great analogy.
And then Amanda asks, do we offer prep classes for the test? We do. They are normally offered at the very, very end of a semester. So usually in late May or in early September, right after the summer classes end is normally when we have them. They should be posted on the website soon if they are not already.
And again, this is something, Julia, that will be changing based on the new requirements from PMI. And so the school is working through the application process and to develop a program that meets the PMI standards. So more to come on that.
Excellent. We're getting lots of questions now. Let's see. Kristen asks, do you have to take the classes in a particular order? No, you do not. It is highly recommended you at the very least take the first course first and the last course last, and the middle courses you can do whenever you would like. They are set up so you can take them in order. That was intentional, but you can technically take the classes out of order and whatever way you'd like, but it's highly recommended you take the fundamentals course first and the capstone last.
Agree.
Excellent. Give me one moment while I find some more questions. Will this recording or presentation be shared with the attendees? Yes, this recording will go out to everyone who RSVP'd, regardless of whether or not they could attend today, or if you had to leave later on or you came in halfway through, you'll get a full recording of this with the audio. You'll also get the slide deck, so you can click all these lovely links in the slides.
Also, my email address is on there too. I'd be more than happy to answer any specific questions that you'd like to direct to me.
Excellent. Here we go. Kristen Hodge-Clark asks, what are some of the software programs or technology that's currently used or will be used in the future in the field of project management? And are they incorporated into the curriculum? Amy, do you want to take that one?
That's a difficult one for me to answer because I only teach the Leading Project Teams course. So I'm not certain if there are specific applications like MS Project or others that are addressed in some of the other courses. I would imagine they're discussed. I don't know if there's specifics in terms of how to use them.
Okay, I'll actually take that question out and I will put that towards our main inbox. I'll see if we can get in touch with some of the other instructors and we'll get that answered to you via email later. Let's see. Are the intensive courses offered via Zoom live teaching or online for spring 21? For spring, everything is virtual. If a class starts between now and the end of April, it will be virtual. Nothing will be in person. No decisions have been made just yet for the summer or the fall, though. So it'll be held via Zoom if it is supposed to be an in-person class. And the links will also be put up on Canvas for you to click and join at a specific time during those times and dates. Let's see. Do you pay for all the classes at one time or pay as you go? That's a very good question. We get that pretty frequently. Again, it's just like online retail. So you will pay for whatever's in your shopping cart at the time. You are allowed to register for one class at a time and pay for it, but that means you're not going to be registering for the whole entire list of classes at once. And the only risk with that is that the classes might fill up before you're able to register for the next class, since they're only 1 to 2 weeks apart in terms of dates. So it is a risky way to do it if you want to get everything done in one semester and not risk having missed a class or it's too full and you have to be put on a wait list. But it is possible. You are allowed to do that. Oh, this one's good for you, Amy. What are the reasons you highly recommend negotiation and conflict management for project managers?
For me, again, it's the soft skills part of project management are the most critical in today's world, and particularly as so many organizations have transitioned to working remotely. And so I think it's important that the leadership and the conflict resolution, that these are all skills that are so key to effective project management. And so, you know, that's again my personal preference, but I find in so many in so much of the work that I have done that there are project managers that are great at managing the scope and managing the timeline and managing all aspects of the project, but they're not good at managing the people and leading the people on their team to success. And so that's why I feel that adding that other course with negotiation, conflict management will be very helpful for a project manager.
Excellent. Is one considered an alumni upon completion of the certificate? Yes and no. you'll be considered an alumni of the School of Continuing Studies. You would then get an alumni discount to take further certificates with us. But I am not sure about you being a Georgetown alumni of the Georgetown Undergraduate School, because this is not an undergraduate certificate. This is a professional certificate at a graduate level. I'm not sure, actually. Amy, do you know?
I do not. It's a good
Okay.
question.
I have never heard of anyone on either end saying they have or have not become a Georgetown alumni. I do know that you get an alumni discount if you want to take more certificate programs, but the alumni discount does not apply toward any degrees. I'm sorry. A very good question, though. Let's see. Sheik asks a very good question. Does the certificate program lead you to a master's degree in project management? This one does not. This is a non-credit certificate. Non-credit certificates, because they are non-credit, the classes do not equate over to degree-seeking programs or to credit-bearing courses. Some other schools might see that you've taken a whole certificate and maybe equate your 6 courses or whole certificate into 1, maybe 2 of their courses, but they don't equate over 1 for 1. We do have a graduate certificate in lean and agile practices. I believe that's what it's called. You can find that on the website as well. That one will lead into our master's in project management, but it takes, I believe, about 2 years. The price is much higher than this one. It is at a graduate level, but those are the big differences. That one is more hard skills and less soft skills. It will lead to a master's, but this one can be done more readily and will give you more of the soft skills that Amy mentioned. A very good question. That is most of what I see. I'm looking for a few more questions that we haven't answered. And anything that I miss, I have the list of questions I can answer everyone individually after the fact. Don't worry. Alberto asks that if the certificate you earn, will you have your name on it, the duration or the name of the certificate, and that's it. The certificates are lovely. They look just like smaller versions of a degree. It'll have the gold Georgetown seal, your name, the name of the school, so Georgetown School of Continuing Studies. We will mail it to you. They are taking quite a while to mail because of COVID-19, and we are not going into the office as often for our industrial printers and the special paper we use, but we do send them out after you've graduated. Amy, do you have any other, while I look for more, do you have any other pearls of wisdom or any other frequently asked questions you want to address?
No, I just think right now is a great time, especially those people who normally were commuting to work, to take the time and focus on your future and your learning. Use the extra time that you may have spent commuting or doing other things outside of the home to improve your skills. And this is a great way to meet other people that are in the same field or similar and network with them. And particularly if you are right now unemployed and looking for a position and want to gain skills in project management so that you can be applying for jobs that list that as a requisite skill, I think this is a great way to do that. And the students and that I have met in the 4 years that I've been teaching have really, they've been great classes and great ways, even for me as an instructor, to learn from others, and that interaction that you have either in the flex or classroom experience or in the online through the discussion boards can be very valuable.
Excellent. All right. I think that's about it. We just have a few latecomers. I'm just typing up the answers to those questions. I will get to everyone's questions after this presentation. Again, you'll get a recording of it later this week once it's done downloading, as well as the slide deck for you to click on all the lovely links. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to email us. Amy, I'm going to close our videos for just a sec so we can see the links. There we go. This is our main email address, pdcprograms@georgetown.edu. Feel free to call us as well. Email will be faster because we get quite a few calls right after the webinars happen. But just send us an email. We can always set up a time to talk, and I'll get to all of your questions via email later this week as well. Everyone, if you have any other things, just again, shoot us an email or call us on the phone. And Amy, anything else to say before we head out?
No, that's all. Thank you, Julia, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.